In 1996, I was 17 years old. It was only 30 years of hurt back then. In 1996, in 1996, Princess Diana was still alive, and 9/11 was still alive. Back in 1996, in 1996, TFI Friday was born, which was the televisual equivalent of starting your weekend in a walkabout pub. Filled with cunts. If you're gonna laugh this much, we'll never get through the show. In 1996, the Spice Girls invented girl power, which was to feminism what a Dairy Lee triangle is to a block of mature cheddar. In 1996, the UK was 8 years away from getting a Whole Foods store. But how did you eat nice tomatoes in 1996? In 1996, all tomatoes were nice tomatoes. In 1996. In 1996. In 1996. In 1996. Thank you. I went to a party at Sting's house in 2013, 3 years ago. And the reason I went to this party, so I was really lucky enough to be cast in the all-female production of Julius Caesar, in which I was the bass player. We all remember the bass player from Julius Caesar. Oh, on GCSE Shakespeare, right? Remember Sinner the poet, cast the bass player. There's no bass player in there. We added it ourselves. It was a very modern production. And Sting came to see this production of Julius Caesar, and he had a party at his house afterwards. And obviously, I'm there playing the bass in this production. So the first thing he does is he wants to have a conversation with me because he is a bass player, right? And I love playing the bass more than anything in the world. I absolutely love it. Half an hour with Sting talking about playing the bass. Didn't really want to touch a bass again. And it's because he's really earnest. I thought he was going to be really funny. No? Sting's quite funny in some... He's quite funny in Zoolander too. This can't be where I lose you as an audience. It can't be. I thought he was going to be really funny. Maybe because he's seen me in this really earnest production, but... So you know, like in a film when a cat meets a ghost and the cat does this because the ghost doesn't have a soul. That's how I felt meeting Sting. Not that he doesn't have a soul, obviously. He doesn't have a sense of humour. But so he was saying, it was this long conversation with Sting. Like 4 famous bass players in the world. I get to talk with Sting, and it was really disappointing. And he was like going, I'm writing this musical at the moment. It's amazing. It's a really good impression of Sting, by the way. It's an amazing musical at the moment. It's called The Last Ship, and it's about the dockers in Newcastle, and I really want to tell their story. And I went, that's really interesting, Sting, because I've written 2 musicals. It's Martin White. It's an absolutely true story as well. So I've written 2 musicals, and Sting was like, we were both bass players, we've both written musicals, this is incredible, tell me about your musicals. And I went, the first musical was about... Oh, Martin. I said, this is going to be so bad in the edit, right? I said to Sting, the first musical I wrote, I've written 2 musicals. One of the musicals was about a woman who finds the man who murdered her parents, marries him, and then kills all of his family the weekend of their wedding. It's a comedy. And Sting went, and the other one? I said, the other one is about a killer lesbian robotic nun who steals a baby, puts it in a cupboard. It turns out the baby's Elton John. That's when Sting ended the conversation. And also you learn, when you're in a long-term relationship, you learn about your own sexual technique, which I think is really, you never learn, no one no one ever says anything to you, but in your long-term relationship, you actually learn something about your own sexual technique. Because it's because everything I learned about sex, I learned from Hollywood films in which women never move in the missionary position. That's why. They go, oh, darling, I'm so exhausted. And I think, what have you done? Or I'd read women's magazines and they'd all say things like, sex is an exercise. The way I do it. I think maybe it's because I didn't watch porn. I sort of think that maybe if I'd have watched porn, I might have learnt a little bit more about. But I can't connect to porn as a sexual experience. It doesn't reflect my own sexual experience back at me. And I'll give you an example. At no point during sex have I ever thought, I really hope he pulls his willy out and sticks it in my eye. It's never been I can't relate to porn. I can't wait for the bit when he rams his cock so far down my throat, a gag. Just doesn't, I don't get it at all. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to write a song explaining to young people that sex isn't the most important thing in the world. That's what this next song is. It's called My Favourite Non-Sexy Things. It's all the things that I like that aren't sex. Tell you what's really good that isn't sex. You know when you really need a wee? If you hold on to that wee for ages and ages and ages and ages and then you have a wee, that feels incredible. Give it a try, guys. Also, do it while you're young because that ability goes. So, we've got two choices with this song. You can either have 1990s girl guitar legs, we can have 1970s girl guitar legs. Or as I like to call it, George Osborne girl guitar legs. So which one would you prefer? It's the only bit of audience interaction in the show. 90s, 70s, we'll go for... Oh, do you want 90s? Oh, blimey, it's like Brexit all over again. I'll do some sort of halfway stance. Pleasing no one. Right, so this is my favourite non-sexy things. Hearing a stranger fight in public, the reduced price food aisle at the supermarket, locating a clipped fingernail that's stuck in the carpet before my lover steps in it and thinks I'm disgusting. Hating the first 2 days of a holiday cause the food is weird, the telly's weird and no one else has duvets. Bag of Watsons and a jar of Quins. These are my favourite non-sexy things. Getting all that skanky cream from out my belly button. Seriously? An entire month at the Fringe and only one woman laughed. Well, that was really good observational material. Turns out me, this woman, and Izzy Sooty, the only people whose belly buttons smell like a bum. It's really disgusting. When I'm drowning out at sea and I get rescued by a dolphin, or I'm rolfing cause a Korean girl is smashing eggs into her own face on the internet. Bit cumbersome, that one. Or having a wank whilst watching Watchdog. When my kitchen is disgusting, but I finally find time to put my fist in the sink, just like a civil rights sign. That's a Kanye West reference no one's ever gonna get. But one girl, after a show once, came up to me and said, "Oh, I love Kanye West. What song does he talk about putting his fist in a sink?" It's not a sink. Muscle in the oven, get the juice out the bins. These are my favourite non-sexy things. Finding out what's making that smell and getting rid of it. Unless that smell is coming from a neighbour who is dead. Unless that smell is coming from a part of my own body. Unless that smell is all in my mind. Seeing someone famous but then realising it's just someone who looks like someone famous. Like the time I thought I saw the ghost of famous Graham Chapman. But it was just the ghost of an ordinary man, and I was really disappointed.